people think about green architecture, they think about boxes, simple boxes, and the kind of cold feel inside the house. But this one, we're able to make it work in all the different ways: efficiency, livability, and cost also, I think.
We would never build a home the same again. This is a unique project that has really opened our eyes.
The owner, the builder, the architect, and our firm all worked closely together to help design the house, not just from the architectural side of things, but we worked on the energy side of things in the building design and looking at the architecture from an engineering point of view. So we actually took the design from the architect and built 3D models, put it into a Park City climate model, and simulated how the building would perform. And we basically digitally built this house 30 or 40 times to get it to work exactly how we wanted to before we built it for real the first time. This house is true net zero. There won't be any bills or utilities to pay. All of the energy used on site is generated on site.
This house is basically like a giant igloo cooler, has foam around every side, all the way underneath the bottom. Got 16 inches of foam on top of it.
The house is designed to be very strongly passive solar, where we're trying to gain as much heat as we can and retain it while still staying cool in the summertime.
You look at this house and you see the photovoltaic panels and you see the solar hot water, and you see, wow, those guys have really done a lot with that type of thing, but those things are only 10% of it. You know, our heating is met 90% by passive solar.
The general contractor and the contractors from Heliocentric went around the house with a blower door and thermal cameras and caulk and foam and sealants to seal up this house to 0.6 air changes per hour at 50 pascals of pressure, which is about 12 to 16 times less air infiltration than what you have in a Energy Star rated house. 95% of the waste from this site was recycled. The concrete we're standing on right now is a special kind of porous concrete that absorbs water and lets it drain through to the ground instead of running off.
Our toilets are actually dual flush toilets. We have low flow fixtures in our bathrooms and in the showers, and these all come down to a heat recovery drain that will, as the water that is heated is escaping, the fresh water coming from outside is heated by a coiled loop that loops around that drain.
You walk into the bathroom, the ventilation automatically comes into the bathroom. It checks to see if the water is hot at the sink at the same time, and then if it's not hot when somebody walks in, it will recirculate the water so that the water is hot, so that when they turn on the sink, they get hot water instantaneously. If nobody's home, the ventilation system will shut down. If there's 2 people home, the ventilation system will make sure there's a good air quality for those 2 people. And if you have a party of 40 or 50 people, then the ventilation system will compensate and ventilate to make sure that you have good air quality for that large group of people. The exterior and the interior spaces have been very modern spaces, but also very warm and livable.
It's just like living in an art gallery or art museum, so it's what I like about this space. It's livable, this one. It's warm and inviting and a lot of beauty around you.
Each of these cubbies were designed by Svetlana O'Meara, the homeowner, and she had a specific idea of what she wanted in these shelves. Each room and area and many of the other things that are done on this house are actually multi-function, you know, to get the most out of it.
The house, the way it's designed, feels way bigger than what it is, because all these spaces are interconnected. Lower level will, the bathroom is at the same time the laundry room, and we've got a space for the sauna, so all the plumbing is in a central location. So it's way more efficient to design this way.
There is automatic window operators here in the tower, and there's a stairwell that's an open stairwell all the way down to the bottom floor that acts as a cooling tower, and we can open up windows throughout the house automatically from the HVAC system to cool the house. We are concerned about every single watt in this house, including the amount of energy to operate the motors for the blowers, and just that last 5% of heat loss in the system. The house gets the rest of its heat beyond the passive solar aspects from 10 solar thermal panels that are on the backside of a shed roof that are invisible from the road, but actually get the advantage of having the roof reflect onto the panels, act kind of like a mirror. It's not off the grid, but essentially it could be.
The beamwork inside is beautiful, and as you look out from any room, it really captures the landscape and Park City area.
Challenges to make it look beautiful, I think.